What is good, y'all? It is Cole's Garage and we are back at it with another video. Today's video is going to be a 1 year plus review of D3 Performances tuner. So let's go ahead and get into that. Actually, before we get into that, I do want to give you updates if y'all are curious. The Mustang is actually should be done in like probably 3-4 weeks, a little under a month, because I was there a couple days ago and everything is on basically besides the valve cover and timing chain. I mean, there's still a lot to be put on, and then he's also got to do some test driving, but he said it should be done around the beginning of July, maybe a little later, so that's good. And then update on the house. Actually, there was a storm, bad storm, real bad storm, hailstorm, and there was a tornado in Lubbock, and it shredded a bunch of roofs there, including the house I was just about to buy. I was 1 week from the closing day, but it's actually a plus for me because I'll just have a new roof now that isn't under my insurance. It's going to be under the current owners, so that's nice. But the problem is that everyone else has the roof getting done, and so the roofers are going to take forever to actually probably get to my house. It is what it is, but should have that soon, probably the end of July. But yeah, that's going to be it for the updates, and then let's go ahead and get into the review. So first thing I want to discuss is I really want to get this out of the way. So the transmission, I will probably get some clips of me doing some driving, showing the transmission slipping. The transmission is slipping. It's actually been slipping for maybe like 3 months now. But at first it wasn't like bad at all. It was really only third to fourth gear where it was slipping a bit. But now my second and third to fourth gears do slip significantly more now, which is annoying. But I'm pretty sure, the car drives fine, really. I mean, it really just slips when you're wide open throttling it. I mean, when you drive it normal and even at cruising speeds and all that, and even getting on it a little bit, it drives fine. It's really only when I'm racing that I notice the trans slip. So that sucks. I can definitely feel the power like dropping off, or like it just stuttering and it's not doing a smooth power gain. So the car is a little bit slower, as I've noticed in some of my recent races, the ones I've posted as well. But I want to say it is probably the D3 Tune's true manual mode. I'm thinking that's what it was, because I had this tune on because I've had this tune for like a year and a half now, maybe a little less, but I've had it for quite a while, and it's been fine. I mean, the car, I had it, and first when I got the tune, I had it on just the 93 cold air intake tune. I didn't have the true manual mode on, and I ran that for about, I don't know, say like 4 or 5 months, probably, maybe like half a year. Sorry, it is pretty windy. Hope y'all can still hear me. I'll actually get in the car with this problem. Here we are in the interior, but oh wow, there's actually a storm probably coming in. I didn't even notice that. Holy shit. Well, hopefully I should get this done quick then before it starts raining. But yeah, so I was on the 93 cold air tune, no true manual, for half a year. And then, damn, I hope y'all can hear that. There's like a Civic ripping. Sorry, let me fucking back on topic, Cole. All right, so I didn't have the true manual mode tune on until after that 6 months. And go ahead and roll this window up. I'm sorry, guys. The wind is probably still getting me, y'all. There we go. Okay, so I had the true manual mode tuned on for probably a little under a year. I probably had it on for like 8 or 9 months, maybe 10. And then I just recently switched it back to the 93 cold air non-true manual mode. And the transmission actually does seem to be a lot better, which is why my suspicions lead to being a true manual mode that makes it slip a lot after excessive usage. I do drive my car. I rip the shit out of this car a lot. I race a lot. I haven't raced in a while. I don't really go out to the race meets too often because I'm just waiting for the Mustang to do that. I've kind of already raced everything I need to in this car. I mean, everything that's in its class, I've shown what the races look like. even some cars that are out of my class, like that inline or the 5.0, or even that full bolt-on 370Z that was admin tuned that was also gutted with like no bumpers, like straight full effort Z that he could not shift. So actually the 130, I was only like, I don't know, a car behind. But if he could have hit his shifts, that also, he would have obliterated me. He would have blown my doors off, just like the inline or the 5.0 10-speed. But the true manual mode tune, I do believe, is what actually causes more damage to the transmission over the auto. Because even in the auto, it slips, but it doesn't slip nearly as bad, and sometimes it won't even slip. So I do think that leads me to believe that it is the true manual mode. So I wanted to make this video just to advise you, if you do have the tune, that if you do use the true manual mode tune, I would not use it for more than, you know, especially the time period I did. I wouldn't have it on for longer than like a month. You know, I would say even just put it on for the night or something if you want to try it out. It is, in my opinion, fun. I think the true manual mode tune does make the car way more enjoyable to drive, because the gears, as people that have these cars know, are very, very temperamental without the tune, with the paddles. Like, it will still shift and stuff for you, and sometimes it will downshift whenever you actually want to downshift later because it hits a certain RPM. So it is really annoying when you have the true manual tune. You literally don't have to worry about that. You are in control of the gears. So I think that was cool, but I don't think you should have it on for longer than that, a month, say. So, and I honestly need to find a buddy and do a test video where I have the true manual mode tune on in current state with the slip versus the auto 93 tune, and see if like I'm any closer in any races, if there is any difference. I highly imagine there's not. But to me, I do feel like when this trans was good and I had the true manual mode tune on, that it did run better, and because I believe it actually lets you rev out more. Yeah, it lets you rev out like another 200 RPMs on the true manual mode tune as well, which I do believe the car was faster in that mode. Like, it still feels good, but I remember in true manual mode, like, I was keeping up with some cars, if not beating like some damn fast cars in a V6 Camry, you know. So that would be my only advisory, is watch out for that tune. Other than that, I think the other tunes are great. I actually, when I go to Lubbock, I'm gonna have to run the 91 tune because that's all that's there. But even on the 91 tune, you definitely, you know, surprisingly feel a lot difference. It's not nearly as fast as it is when it's on 93, which is kind of annoying. It feels a lot slower in Lubbock, but it's actually surprising me how much difference, in my opinion, you will feel from the 91 to 93 tune that they have on D3's thing. Night and day difference, at least for me. It's night and day. So I think that's cool. And especially, I haven't tried the 87 because I don't really care to try that, but 91 and 93 are what people should be using if they bought the tune, because that's how you're going to maximize it. But yeah, I mean, I've had this tune on, I'm at 87,000 miles. Maintenance, that's just for an oil change, by the way. And I still have 1,000 miles until I can get it. Anyways, I've had the tune on for, I want to say, 37,000 miles, and it probably started slipping at like 84. So take that how y'all want. Do I regret buying the tune? No, I really don't. I don't care if the train slips. I think it's still going to last a long time, as long as I'm not ripping on it too much. But yeah, as far as reliability, I mean, take as what I've said as you want. I'm not portraying it as bad or good in any way. Obviously, it probably sounds bad, but it doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. I mean, if I need a new trans, I get a new trans, and then I just won't use the true manual mode as much as and I bet it'll last a lot longer. So other than that, let's talk about the gas mileage now that we got that over with. I've talked about this in my other videos. I actually, when I drive from here to Lubbock, which is a 6-hour drive, well, basically just highways the whole way, and I averaged 29 miles to the gallon, which is pretty decent. It used to be more. I think my car's just gone down a little bit in gas mileage overall. It used to be like I could get 31 on that trip, which was like, you know, babying it, not really ripping on it either. But on my like normal driving, I probably average like not that good. Let me see. I can probably check on here. Yeah, right now I'm averaging 18.9, but that's, I mean, that's pretty decent still considering how I drive. I'm always in sport mode. You know, I don't drive it that hard anymore now that the trans is a little hurt, but still 18.9, that's pretty solid. I do a lot of city road driving around town too, more than just on the highways. If I was just doing highway driving, I'm getting like 29, so about 10 miles to the gallon more. Other than that, what else? That's really all I just wanted to talk about coming on this tune. Just tell y'all how I feel about it and what's happened to my car. I do think it is a great tune, though. I will stand by that. It 100% wakes the car up, makes it way more lively and fun to drive, 100%. But yeah, that's probably gonna do it for that. I'm just gonna go ahead and get some clips for you of the trans slipping. If it does slip, it might not, but we'll see. I'm just gonna get some videos for y'all. I can't find my head strap anymore because I haven't done a POV video in a while. I've just been dealing with a lot of shit with the Mustang in the house and work and shit. So luckily I'm out of classes though, so I did have a little bit more time. But yeah, I'll get some clips of y'all for that, or shit. I'll get some clips of the trans slip for y'all. God, I can't speak. And yeah, let's get into that. All right, here we go. Okay, well actually surprisingly there from first to second, no slip. Second to third, it didn't slip. Which, I mean, it doesn't do that. Like, it's because it's in the auto mode. It really doesn't, like, that's the, in true manual mode, it was always slipping. But it actually didn't slip there. The car was probably, I think it probably does it a lot too when the transmission gets hot. So when I do more clips, which I'm about to, it probably will slip. But we'll see. I'll get some more of that. Right there, it didn't slip. So that's good. I mean, I definitely think the auto mode helps the trans run a lot better. But yeah, I'll get y'all some more clips. All right, let's start again. Okay, so yeah, it did slip just a tad bit right there from second to third, as y'all could probably see in the video. I'm pretty sure I saw it slip. I can't really get any third to fourth hits, probably, unless I was on the highway. I might be able to in future videos, but I mean, even in the race against the Sonata in my last race video, you can see my trans slipping, and you can actually see it in the race against the WRX. I believe it was the gutted one. Yeah, the full bolt-on and gutted WRX. My trans was slipping as well. So, and I actually still was catching that car top end. But yeah, I mean, it did slip there just a tad bit. It wasn't bad. It's definitely slipped worse. But I think in third to fourth, it would slip worse for sure. I think it would definitely slip worse in third to fourth because it normally does.